All right, my people, my timeline has been crazy these past few days. Everyone talking about relationship. You know how we are all experts when it comes to another person's affair, even though we have not been able to fix our houses in one place. But do we actually even know what a good and healthy relationship looks like? Today, I'm going to talk to you about 10 signs of a healthy relationship. It has nothing to do with money, luxury, a trip to Dubai, public display of affection, or isefele. I mean, washing plates. Okay, take your mind out of the gutter. Let's dive right into it. Sign number 1, you both build independent friendships. Okay, now, I know where your mind is going. X not included. They are called X for a reason. So obviously, right, you should be shocked when a particular partner is being restricted for going to see either their friends, if she's a woman, their female friends, and if she's a man, her male friends, and family members. Those are very important. So people really quickly lose themselves in relationship when they get married, and it becomes everything about we. It's now we are doing everything. Yes, it's you and your partner, but isolating you from the people who really care or people who were your friends, it's not a good sign, because those are the people that you can actually be with and talk about some stuff that actually pulls out a little bit of pressure from you. Now, a lot of us will begin to find our friends even joke about it, that we don't even see you anymore when you got married. Those things are not really healthy. So it's important that you try as much as possible to still maintain close ties with your friends, because these are what we call support system. When your support system is strong, you are able to be present inside. When your support system is bad, because you don't have any, you will not represent well inside. A healthy relationship adds to life. It doesn't replace your life. If your partner is upset because you went to visit your friends, it's a red flag. You need to know that on time. If you feel guilty going to visit your family because you are thinking about what your partner will say, then that is control. You have put your hand into an enclosure, and coming out of it may be difficult. So good partners encourage your continuous connection. You should continue connecting with your friends. You should continue connecting with your family. And if you are better outside, that will also automatically make you a better person inside the relationship. Sign number 2, emotional safety. If you can express your feelings inside without fear, not just the happy feelings, including the messy ones, then there is a problem. You are scared and you are hurt at the same time. I don't understand. You can't even say it because you are wondering the repercussion that will come. Somebody has hurt you, you are feeling really bad, but in your head you are thinking, I am scared of even saying it out because I don't know how my partner is going to react. You are actually walking on eggshell. And you know what happens when you walk on eggshell? The first step will not even land on it and it breaks. So you are on a ticking time bomb that is waiting to explode. Now you are not in a relationship and you are rehearsing conversations in your head because you cannot tell it to your partner. You are afraid and thinking of what he or she will do. So this mental health thing is very serious. It's a true life situation. My brother, my sister, safeguard your mental health. If you cannot have a conversation with your partner because you are scared, then that is a red flag. If you cannot be vulnerable, if you cannot show your imperfect part, then you are not partners. You are performing. So better go and register in Nollywood where you will act film, because a healthy relationship is a safe place and not a stage. Sign number 3, shared decision making. Not about Netflix, so not about the next movie you are going to watch or the next cinema you are going to visit, but big decisions. Decisions like where you will live, how many children you will have, the careers, the purchases you are going to make. Is a conversation, not an announcement. It is not when you people have not talked about something, then one of your partners says, I have not decided yet. You have to have a conversation together so that you will know what works for the partner, and it is not who is going to win, because if one person wins, the other person loses. It is not a competition, it is compromise. You need to have an understanding with each other so that an agreement what is going to move both of you forward. Sign number 4, financial transparency. Well, I said it's not going to be about money. This one is different. It is about whether you people can talk about it. Can you talk about your financial decisions together? Can you talk about your healthy purchases? Financial transparency leads to trust. So partners will really have to understand that when you have decided on your spending habits, when you have decided on your budgeting, not when you want to make simple budgets, it becomes like a third world war. Everybody is fighting left and right because there is no single agreement to it. Nobody should be hiding debts or purchases, because this one is very important. Everybody comes with their own views about money. Some may be savers, while some may be spenders. Now, an understanding and a plan towards what is necessary to keep the family growing is what is likely going to put you people together. Most times in relationships, some people come, really financially more buoyant than the other, and the other person may begin to look at the other person as somebody who is dependent financially on them. Once their thought begins to come in, there is already a problem. Remember, you guys are now in partnership, so discussions surrounding everything, especially money, it's really now down for both of you as partners to make. Nothing causes quarrel like money. Just like when the best way to lose your friendship is to borrow somebody money. A lot of friends, when you borrow them money, they don't pay back. And when it's time to pay back, story. Sign number 5, encourage each other to grow. There are some relationships that a girl is going to school, her teen, or her family is training her. The man comes in and says, I am going to train her after marriage. She will give birth to 1. She will give birth to 2. She will give birth to 3. Before you know it, school and everything about her education is now an old story. Education, career, hobbies should be discussed, including the dreams of your partner. Your partner should be your biggest cheerleader, not an object to, or something, or a conversation that will be postponed whenever it has to do with them. If she wants to go to school, you support it. If she wants to learn how to play piano, even at 40 years, that is the next birthday gift you are buying for him or her. Now, the opposite is scary. If your partner always feels threatened whenever a conversation about an opportunity is arising, that is not a good place to be in. If your partner starts to jitter because he hears that you are aspiring to be a better man or a better woman, that is a bad one for you. And you know what? Your partners should always be your support system, and they should never appear as people who are sabotaging it. Sign 6. You fight, but you fight fair. Yes, you heard me. You fight. Not box, don't go and box somebody's pikin and box them into depression. But if you have been in a relationship with somebody for over 6 months and no disagreement, then someone is definitely lying, and that is not going to be far from the truth. But what separates a healthy one from a toxic relationship is that there will be bound to have disagreements from time to time. You can have fights from time to time, you see? So when you have fight, what do you talk about? Do you attack the person's character? Do you attack the person's image or the person's nature? You are this person. Some of all those things, this is what determines the kind of fight that makes a relationship better, or the kind of fight that disintegrates a relationship. Now, when you bring old resolved issues into what is currently happening and you don't speak to the current issue at stake, then that is not fight. That is serious conflict escalated. You don't have to call the person's name. You don't have to slam doors. You don't have to break TV. Because what's happening these days, when someone is not happy, someone will just smash TV on the floor, break phone. Those things will really not just make the relationship strong. And you decide that, okay, because this person has offended me, then maybe you pack out of the house. You go and stay with your friends, or you go home to your family. Go back. If it is my mother, you are not sleeping in a house that day. You are going back to resolve your issue with your husband. And that is how it should be encouraged. Now, in issues of fight and disagreement, do you just listen to understand or to respond? Those things really matter. Or do you actually resolve things? Because resolving things is what moves you guys to the next level. Or you just stop talking about it and let it fester. Sometimes when people just even stop talking about issues, it doesn't even mean that it has been resolved. It just means that, okay, maybe one of them just feel, if I stop talking, the other person will stop talking. Healthy couples don't avoid conflict. They just don't let conflict destroy them. Sign 7, your no is respected. This one hard though. Physical, emotional, time, sex. When is a no, is a no. I had to learn that one the hard way. So you say, I need some time alone, and they respect it. You say, I need some time alone, and they respect it, and there is nothing really wrong with that. You say, my body is not feeling like it today, no matter the kind of congee that is holding you. A no is very important in this situation. Read the room, as they say. So you say, I'm not comfortable with that. It's a no. Let's move on to something else. That is how boundaries are built and how boundaries are respected in relationship. So let's have a word. You listen. When your partner says, let's have a word, you listen. Because all this conversation is what keeps the relationship going and what keeps couples happy with each other. So not saying, I don't love you. Because sometimes some people might get very angry. And the next thing is, I don't love you. It becomes situational. It becomes transactional. You don't have to get to that level. Saying I love myself too today does not mean I don't want to care or listen to you or your needs. It's just that I need time for myself so that I can come back and become a better person to you. So if someone gets angry at your boundaries, what it means is it tells you everything about that person. They are not angry at your boundaries. They are just not happy because they can't control you. Sign 8, public treatment versus private treatment. Some people are very sweet in private, but they treat you like trash in public. And some people are very sweet in public and they treat you like trash in private. Public treatment has to be equal to private treatment. When someone tells you all the sweet stuff at home, privately, but they treat you like you are a butt of jokes in front of friends and family, that tells you something. Being belittled or dismissed, no, just no. You have to take it very seriously. Now, respect isn't situational. Don't tolerate that you are being loved in the private and disrespected in the public. Don't talk down on your partners just to be funny in front of people, friends, or even family members. It's a no-no. How they speak about you to others should always match how they speak about you in private. So that if they're speaking about to you disrespectfully in private, at least when they speak to you disrespectfully outside, you understand. So you don't want to tolerate a two-face, just respect. It has to be consistent, and it has to be very consistent and an unwavering respect for your relationship. Public treatment should always be equal to private treatment. Sign 9, you don't need to check their phone. So we are not saying you cannot check their phone. We are only saying you don't need to. In a healthy relationship, there is trust. If they leave their phone on the table, you are not grabbing it. If you glance on the screen and you see something that is making your stomach, your tummy to turn, or like they are stabbing you, you are putting knife in your chest, then there is a big problem, because the trust on the use of personal cell phones is usually end. And it has to be done through consistent honesty. Through consistent honesty. Through showing them you respect them. Through communication. And through showing them repeatedly. I am here. I am committed and nothing to hide. So, I am talking privacy versus anxious feeling. And you need to understand when someone is keeping his thing privately and when you don't really trust how private this person does with his things. Some people might hide their password, but when they hide their password because they want to keep some things private, but you have lived with them to earn that their trust that nothing is wrong, then that is healthy. But when you are consistently suspecting and you are anxious because they don't let you have their password, then that calls for a little bit of a concern that needs a little digging deep. So that feeling that something is wrong, being lied to, and you can't trust them is something that really breaks the relationship even before it gets far. So if you are constantly checking their phone and you are asking questions, maybe it's not a trust problem. Maybe it is either you have lived with them long enough to understand that you can't trust them, or you are carrying a trust unresolved issue from your past relationship into the current one. You need to know the difference. Check if it is you or them. Then you will get clarity. Sign number 10, equality. Nobody is above the other. Remember, this person was on their own, went to meet them and say, let's marry, let's be together. So you have become equal. You are partners and you are equal. So nobody is the boss, nobody makes all the rules. Everybody will have to bring. The other person will bring, we'll put it together, then we'll now form our rules and regulation. Nobody's opinion matters more than the other, just because you have different strengths. So sometimes some people may have the ability to do certain things more than the other. Maybe one person might just be the one paying bills, and the other person is handling cooking. That is equally fine. Whatever works for you, you will do it. But with the big stuff, respect, decision making, has to be equal, not one announcing to the other about his own decision about what is supposed to be discussed together as partners. So if one person always apologizes and the other person doesn't, then that is not equality. One person's career is always prioritized, one person's feeling is always valid while the other person ain't. Real equality is equal to wanting the best for each other. Your partner's win is your win. That's equality, that's partnership, and that is love. I hope I've been able to give a little bit of an insight of what a healthy, natural, consistent, honest relationship is. Let me know what I missed in the comments and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Turn on your notification button so that you'll be the first to get any new video whenever I drop. Now, make it a great day and thank you for your time.